Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. Today I have got another round of Easter and spring DIYs for you. I'm very excited because Every Plate is sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love them. I'll tell you a little bit more about them in just a minute, but for now, let's get into this first DIY. For this DIY, I started with one of these envelopes that came from Dollar Tree, and I broke it down by using my heat gun to heat up the glue that attached the two pieces. I grabbed several different Easter themed scrapbook paper. All of it came from Hobby Lobby, and I picked two different ones, traced around my pieces, cut them out, and then applied them to the two pieces using some Mod Podge. Once the scrapbook paper was down, I grabbed my hot glue gun and reassembled my envelope. I took the heart that came in the envelope originally and I traced around that using some pink cardstock that I had on hand that came from Hobby Lobby. I grabbed three different florals that I had, pink, yellow, and purple, that all came from Amazon, and I wanted to put these down on my envelope, but I didn't like that they were just bundles of the same color, so I actually took them apart so that each bundle would have a pink piece, a yellow piece, and a purple piece. With the florals all ready to go, I grabbed some of these fabric flowers that I had in my stash and decided that was going to be what I used in the center of this. And so I took three of the flowers out of the pack and then I hot glued down the burlap flowers along with my floral bouquets. To finish off the heart, I took some of this burlap trim ribbon that came from Dollar Tree and I hot glued it down around the edge of my heart. Then taking some of these gold bead letter beads, I guess, I spelled out Dear Easter Bunny. These came from Dollar Zone, which is a store. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me talk about it before. I've spelled out Dear Easter Bunny and I hot glued those directly down to the heart. And then I wrote a little message for him kind of down at the base of the heart. And then this was ready to go into my envelope and I was ready to put this out for the Easter Bunny. Now let me take a minute to tell you about today's sponsor, Every Plate. I absolutely love this home meal kit service. It is delicious. Each box that you order, you get to pick your recipes, and every week they have 17 different recipes to choose from. It changes week to week, and when you receive your box, you're going to receive the recipe cards that are very informational. They've got a picture of what it looks like, the ingredients you need, along with the easy steps to follow, including pictures, 6 simple steps to get this meal made and onto your table. The box comes with everything that you need, your meat, your produce, your seasoning. There are some staple items like salt and pepper, things that you would normally have in your pantry that you'll just add to it, but everything comes laid out. I like to, when I get my box, go ahead and sort it out in Ziploc bags, and then all I have to do when I'm ready to make my dinner is grab the dry ingredient bag, grab the cold ingredient bag that goes together, the recipe card, and I'm ready to start making the meals. It's a great thing, family fun. You can get the kids involved helping make these recipes. Every Plate's been kind enough to give me a code for you guys. If you want to try it, you can try it for $1.79 per meal for your first box, which is so cheap considering the prices these days. And then the next 2 boxes, you can get an extra 20% off by using this code. creativeonthecheap is the code you can use to try out Every Plate and get this awesome deal that they are offering you. The meals really do pull together so fast, less than about 30 minutes, and that is definitely faster than having to go to the grocery store. And when you break down the price per meal, it is less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. This French onion gnocchi meal that we made was so good. Everyone in my family loved it. I had fun pulling it together and working with my kids to cook it. So definitely check it out. All the details will be down in the description box. Now, without further ado, let's get into the next DIY. For this DIY, I grabbed this ladder from Dollar Tree and I started by taking off the home letters as well as the greenery. Once those two pieces were off, I grabbed some ribbon trim or burlap trim from Dollar Tree, and I decided to hot glue that on the vertical pieces of the ladder. And then for the cross pieces or the steps of the ladder, I used just a plain burlap trim and hot glued that. I wanted to make a small fabric bunny to attach to my ladder, so I picked up this fabric from Hobby Lobby and grabbed one of these foam bunnies from Dollar Tree and used it as a template. I traced around it and cut 2 pieces of fabric, and then I used hot glue along the edge of the bunny to glue the pieces together and made sure to leave the bottom open so that I could stuff it with some filling. Once the bunny was made, I took that and hot glued it down to the bottom right corner of the ladder. Then I wanted to work in some of these little wood cutouts that I got from Hobby Lobby. And before I worked them in, I grabbed 2 of the Dollar Tree carrots and hot glued those to the top left corner of the ladder. I also glued in some greenery and ended up hot gluing down the Happy Easter and then one of the little bunnies hot glued in there, kind of peeking out of the greenery. To finish this ladder off, I hot glued down a few flowers on the bottom next to the fabric bunny along with a little bit of greenery, and this was ready to be displayed. For this DIY, you want to start with some of the white or brown nautical rope from Dollar Tree, and we're going to be making some bunny coasters. So to start, you want to take your rope and start curling it around, just going around and around. Now I have a silicone mat that I work on, and the key here is that you want to put the glue kind of at the base of the rope so that it doesn't seep up and come up into the top of the coaster. So if you don't have a silicone mat, put a piece of parchment paper down, but you're just going to keep doing this until you get the size of the head that you want. To finish off this coaster, you need to make the ears. So to do so, just make an ear shape and hot glue it. You're going to, after you make the second ear, you want to trim that rope. And then what I did is I just kind of unraveled the rope and then lightly glued those strands to the back. You just need to make sure that you don't have a bulky piece on the back. Otherwise, your coaster won't sit flat on your table, and then you're going to spill a drink, and then you're going to be like, Courtney, why in the world did you tell me to make this coaster? It doesn't work. And then you'll send me a message and I'll feel bad. So just make sure that the back is flat. To finish off this coaster, I took some cream felt and I covered the back of the bunny head portion, the circle part, with this felt. And then I did the ears. I attached some pink felt to the ears. You could also use the cork sheet from Dollar Tree and put that on there as well. And then I finished off by spraying it with some of the Scotchgard fabric protectant just to kind of make the rope last longer. And then this coaster was ready to be used. Now this next DIY is nothing new, yarn wrapped eggs, but this one I'm gonna fill you with a ton of tips of how to get your eggs wrapped, looking unique, how not to burn your fingers, and all the good stuff. So this is more of a very tippy type tutorial. So for the eggs, I would recommend, if you can, work with paper mache eggs. I got mine from Hobby Lobby, but plastic eggs will work just the same. When you go to choose your yarn, if you can find scrubby yarn, that definitely kind of gives your eggs some depth, especially if it's a multicolor strand like the one I'm using here. This is a more bright colored one, but they do have pastel colors. I just got it from Hobby Lobby, but Michaels sells it as well. And then as far as assembling your egg, attaching it, don't use hot glue. Use tacky glue. Now this works, again, really well on the paper mache eggs, the cardboard eggs, and you just want to take that tacky glue starting in the middle of your egg, and you're going to wrap to one end and then do it again. And what you'll find is as you're wrapping, it just kind of instantly sticks. You don't burn your finger. I used a popsicle stick to kind of spread the glue around, and you just wrap and wrap and wrap. The last thing is to wrap your eggs in different ways. So this was just the horizontal wrap. I did another one where I just wrapped little circles. I kind of just made coils, and I kept doing that till they overlapped. Then you can do the crazy wrap where you just kind of wrap the yarn all around it. But I think your yarn choice and definitely using tacky glue will make your eggs turn out great. This DIY is a Dollar Tree DIY, and it's for all you out there who are also plant serial killers like me, or those of you who have been requesting a craft that you could do with your grandkids, your kids, your nieces, your nephews. So you want to start with a plastic egg, preferably a larger one, and then this small mini clay pot from Dollar Tree. I started by painting my egg with the Clover paint by Folk Art. Once it was all covered and dry, I took a dark green paint and I made little squiggles, just kind of spacing them out. I didn't worry about going all the way to the bottom. You want to make sure that when you're making these squiggles that you're actually painting from the I guess larger side of the egg down, because the bottom of it's not really going to be seen, so you don't need to make the squiggles go all the way down. Once the green was all painted on, I took 2 shades of pink and I started with the lighter pink, just making basically an X or T, whatever you want to call it. And then on the center of each of these, I took a darker pink and just did a little dot to finish off the flowers. To finish this off, I put a little bit of just foam crumbles, I guess, in the bottom of this pot to make my little cactus stand up. Then I took some Dollar Tree rocks and filled in the area with the rocks. And then this was ready to be displayed. It will not die on you. It's a kid-friendly craft. And there you go, another spring DIY in the books. And there you go, another round of spring and Easter DIYs. Let me know down below which one of these was your favorite. Also let me know, what is your favorite Easter candy? I absolutely love jelly beans and Reese's peanut butter eggs. Don't forget, if you'd like to try every plate, the information is down below in the description box. It's an awesome meal service. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos that you might enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!